It's another big grid for Sports and Production GT, with Scott Bellingham starting up front alongside Ashley Hooper in the Production GTs. Another reverse grid. Jim Kelly, Simon Allingham off row 2. Ian Clapperton and Brent Cross complete row number 3. Go back to Kevin Varney, the championship leader in Production GT, in a borrowed car alongside Stan Moore. Jeff Gray is next. He starts alongside Ryan Austin. Then go back to Gareth McKenzie and Matt Edgar, some of the quicker cars with the reverse grid. Pierre Neem is the first of the Sports GTs alongside Gary Duncan in production. Murray Beebe and Matt Dunn in the little Corolla. Go back to Neville Stoll and Jeff Washburn. No Chris Dunn by the looks of it. Oh, there he is there off row number 10. He's right in the mix with the Sports GTs. Lawrence Nola and Paul Williams is next. Then we go back to Matt Cronin and Chris Hatton. The grid full Sports GT continues with Jeff Short and Cameron Jones. A big mixed grid handicap start based on lap times over the weekend for Production GT and Sports GTs. The Sports GT starting right at the back of the field. As we go to green with the flag start. Bellingham will be the first car away. I reckon he's going to be pretty tough to beat. 122 is the next one away. Brent Cross, another one of the many Mitsubishi Evos down this part of the world. Car number 97, Jeff Gray. Here's Pierre Neem in the big V8 Capri. He'll be the first of the Sports GTs away. This is an immaculate car. Beautifully fabricated. There's Gary Duncan. Matt Edgar in the number 187. Neville Stoll. Tumo Tyres Sports Saloon champion down here in the South Island. Jeff Washburn in the big TWR replica Commodore Sports Sedan. Chris Hatton and Matt Cronin. In a way, it shouldn't be too long before we see the leaders in Production GT making their way down onto the front straights. As Jeff Short and Cameron Jones get flagged away, and there is Scott Bellingham. Jeff Short manages to slip ahead of him, and I think Cameron Jones will probably blast by the little Evo on the back straight as well. But Bellingham, he's only really worried about the Production GTs. I don't think he'll be too worried about what the Sports GTs are going to be doing. And here comes Cameron Jones. And Jones has gone to the inside of Jeff Short as well. Big flash of flame from the exhaust. The rotary-powered Chev Camaro. So Cameron Jones has had 4 wins. Just managed to get to the line ahead of Jeff Short in the second race, which was held in very, very wet conditions. Didn't really suit the big Trans Am spec car with, I think, around that sort of 600 to 700 plus horsepower mark. Oh, big moment there for Jones. He's just held on to it. That is as scary a moment as you can have without binning a Trans Am spec car at Timaru. He just got the apex of the entry to 10. It ran him wide off the exit and dropped the wheels onto the grass. And I think Cameron Jones can be thankful that that part of the racetrack, here's the replay. So it's already started. Oh, that is a big moment. Probably, I would say, approaching 200 kilometres an hour, Phil Dark.
Absolutely. Gee, he trimmed the grass on the inside first of the track there with the front splitter. That was, as you said, Jamie, a huge moment for Cam Jones. He won't want to repeat that. Yeah,
New Zealand's fastest lawnmower. It's not the way to go lawn tractor racing, Cam. Lines up behind Matt Cronin and Chris Hatton, so this is for position.
So once again, it looks like Cam's got the better of Jeff Short for the moment anyway. See how it pans out. Goes around the inside as they come down onto the front straight once again. So slowly but surely making some progress up the field. So hard in these handicap reverse grid races. He's got a bit of a job to get around Hatton here in the Hatton Horse Floats Camaro. There on the screen, Jamie, I guess the evolution of Trans Ams, the older car and the more modern Trans Am that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I think Hatton's thing's based on, what, an 82, 83 sort of year Camaro. And Cameron Jones's would be sort of early 90s, early to mid-90s. That's certainly the shape we're more familiar here in New Zealand with, you know, the heyday of Trans Am racing.
Well, that's right, the chassis and the body of that car, the car that Paul Pedersen won the New Zealand Trans Am Championships. In those days, it was in the cat colours, the black colours.
Oh,
now,
Jeff Short.
Powered by a Mazda quad rotor. Shorty, oh!
Down the inside.
You wouldn't want to argue with a full-size car in the little Juno, would you? You're going to come off second best if there's contact.
I don't even know if you'd be able to see it in the rear vision mirrors, it's that low. Right, Production GT, going back through the field. Kevin Varney just going through there. There's the leading Sports GT, Pierre Neem. Matt Edgar in one of the Corollas. So first car away, still Scott Bellingham is your race leader in Production GT. Car number 3 started off the front row. Simon Ellingham is in the second spot in the Fastway Courier's Mitsubishi Evo. There's lots of traffic for these guys to try and contend with that are, you know, on a motor racing circuit for these some of these bigger cars, pretty hard to pass on.
Well, you know, they say that hard work is its own reward, and I walked up to do the interview with Russell Mortimer a little while ago, and Pierre Neem had everything out of that car. Had the wheels off it, had the front suspension out of it. They were changing everything, and it's working for him. There he is in the 58, the V8 Capri.
Russell Mortimer, race 2 winner for Sports GT. He is back in 16th. Cameron Jones has just gone by him. Cameron Jones has just set the fastest lap of the weekend, 1 minute flat, 0.666. So he might be looking for a sub 60 around here. I can't remember what the old Trans Am benchmarks were. Has got Kevin Varney going gardening.
The borrowed car. You want to keep that one off the tyre walls, Kev?
Yeah, don't bin that one, Kev. It would be an expensive rental. So Kevin Varney continues on.
I think he probably only lost a couple of spots there, so it was a pretty good recovery. This is Gareth McKenzie, once again, the DX Corolla. And he's got all he can handle from one of the four-wheel drive cars. That looks like Gary Duncan. Gary Duncan was blazingly fast at Ruapuna. Had some problems in the rain at Teretonga last week. With
no Logan Childs this weekend, who didn't contest Teretonga either, Gary Duncan effectively goes into the round, started this weekend second in the points, only about 40 points down on Kevin Varney. So I think that could be very, very close as McKenzie climbs the curbs.
And that was to take evasive action from Gary Duncan. Duncan was putting the pressure on him as they went around that corner, and I'm pretty sure that the little Toyota, they misjudged that curb because that went him way up high.
Well, Scott Ballinghall, he's got a 13-second advantage. I don't think anyone's going to catch him.
Yeah, I think he's been mowing the handicappers' lawns as well.
There's Ryan Austin in the Batmobile. He's third, but he's on similar lap times to Ballinghall. Simon Ellingham's probably going to fall to the Batmobile. And in turn, Pierre Neem. What's the gap back to the next Trans Am car? That would be coming into view now, and it's Cameron Jones.
And look at the way he's just threading the needle through this traffic here. Just
that's got to be fun.
Easy.
That has got to be so much fun.
Well, he's not only got to contend with the speed difference, he's got to contend with the traction difference, whereas the four-wheel drive cars can rocket through the turns. The two-wheel drive Trans Am, it's got to be gingerly putting the throttle down because it's got about 600 or 700 horsepower. Same with Paul Williams. There he is in the Morris Lubricants. I think that's a Bruce Gentilozzi Camaro Trans Am from the heyday of New Zealand Trans Ams. Paul's owned it for a long, long time now. Well, the last lap board, that was Pierre Neem going through. Sports GT leader, go back to the Production GT leader. Scott Ballinghall, he's definitely not going to be beaten here, but I think Pierre Neem might be sort of falling into the clutches of Cameron Jones. Yeah, like the Cameron Jones car, I'm not too sure if that's a genuine Riley and Scott chassis or the transaction copy. But still fabulous race cars. Oh, Jones gets his nose cut off by Gary Duncan. Was that the black Capri just up in front? We'll have to wait and see at the line, but it'll be Scott Ballinghall taking out the win in Production GT, his second win of the weekend. It'll be a pretty decisive victory as well. Well, he certainly had to work harder for that first win in race number 2 because he's had this one handed to him on a plate. Here's second and third. Yeah, this will be Ryan Austin, and Pierre Neem does hold on to the win in Sports GT, just ahead of Cameron Jones. So Gary Duncan will pick up third in Production, and Paul Williams third in the Sports GTs.
Race 3 results for Sports GT and Production GT, and it was a Production GT first home. Scott Ballinghall ahead of Ryan Austin. The first Sports GT crossing the line in third, Pierre Neiman the Capri. Second in Sports GT, Cameron Jones. Go back to Gary Duncan in Production. And down the order, read them as you want.
Pierre, they say hard work's its own reward, and when I came here after the second race, you had the Capri up in the air, all the wheels were off it, everything was out of it. You must have made some changes.
Oh yes, we did. It's we don't have it really good enough for the wet, but it certainly does a wee bit better in the dry. So I got plenty of helpers here too, and plenty of information. So it's a good crew to race in, and if ever you need help, they're all there to help you.
Makes it a bit easier, doesn't it?
It sure does. Yeah.